NSA body scanner, which allows people to keep their hands at their sides. Most people decline. They prefer to use them to cover their privates. The man who was set to be the world's first human head transplant has canceled after falling in love. Apparently, it was a matter of putting his heart over his head. Federal canine handlers reportedly earned more than Vice President Mike Pence did last year. Although they did take time to visit Pence and tell him, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?"
Well, they were doing more important work.
Nevada officials say a death row inmate there keeps trying to kill himself. It's really upsetting prison executioners who say they want a turn. Former CBS CEO Les Moonves won't be getting his $120 million severance pay, which will be tough, as that means he'll have to buy his wife Julie Chen all that apology jewelry out of money he's already earned. A study says loneliness peaks at 3 ages: the late 20s, the mid-50s, and the late 80s. Those are the ages that people move out of their parents' basement, get divorced, and then realize all their friends are dead. Pretty much. A deaf man's daughter signed for him at a rock concert in Canada, translating the lyrics into sign language. The only problem was the music was so loud she ended up breaking 3 fingers.
Is that the one you thought was the best?
That's my favorite for the year.
That was good.
That for the
that
year.
Was good. It did make me laugh.
Keith Richards has turned 75. The secret to his longevity is he actually died in 1972. Nobody told him. The White House is sticking to its claim that Michael Flynn was tricked into lying to the FBI. How did he know they were going to actually ask him any questions? Donald Trump has signed an order creating a U.S. Space Command. He figures if he can't get all the aliens down here, he's going to get them up there. And finally today, a study offers tips on how people can best keep extra pounds off during the holidays, which probably should start out with something like, quit eating so much. So there you go. All the news that is news for another week. She broke 3 fingers.
This is the best of the Morning Mess Morning Show on 1320 KOZY.
I would hang up my stocking at Christmas, open my presents and I'd be glad. But the last time I played Father Christmas, I stood outside a department store. A gang of kids came over and mugged me and knocked my reindeer to the floor. They said, Father Christmas, give us some money, don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. Your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boy. Don't give my brother a Steve Austin outfit. Don't give my sister a cuddly toy. We don't want a jigsaw or Monopoly money. We only want the real McCoy. Father Christmas, give us some money. We'll beat you up if you make us annoyed. Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. But give my daddy a job cause he needs one. He's got lots of mouths to feed. But if you've got one, I have a machine gun, so I can scare all the kids on the street. Give us some money. We got no time for your silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boy. Have yourself a good time. But remember the kids who got nothing. while you're drinking down your wine. Father Christmas, give us some money. We got no time for your silly toys. Father Christmas, please hand it over. We'll beat you up, so don't make it some noise. Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up, don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us some noise. Give all the toys to the little rich boy.
1320 KOZY Grand Rapids, the news source for the Grand Rapids area.
1320 KOZY. Hi there, I'm Joe Gigliotti. We have a special edition of the Sports Issue coming up. It is our Home for the Holidays episode, and we'll chat with area alumni who are still playing and coaching the sports they love. The Sports Issue coming up on KOZY.
Today, we're talking with
Andy Klocko.
And I'm Tasha Klocko.
We own and operate Klocko Brewing Company. We, first and foremost, brew beer.
the Clock Owls are customers of Woodland Bank.
Woodland, to us, came very highly recommended from multiple people in the community and kind of hit it off with everyone right away and sort of felt like the right thing.
They said choosing to do business in Grand Rapids was an easy choice.
I'm originally from Grand Rapids, born and raised, and when we decided to start our family, every time we talked about opening a brewery, we always would say, oh, well, Grand Rapids doesn't have one yet.
The Clock Owls use multiple services at Woodland Bank.
We use business checking, loan services, SASA, and the Saver account. Brian's kind of made it clear that it's a partnership from the beginning. First meet up with him and Wayne, it was just very, very clear that, hey, this is an open and honest thing. We want to help you because if you succeed, we succeed.
Woodland Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
That's the Woodland way.
Let Super One Foods help you prepare a delicious Christmas meal for your family and friends. On sale this week, Smithfield ham, 77 cents each, limit one ham with separate $25 purchase. Black Angus New York strip roast, $6.96 a pound. Give the gift of health this year. Choose from our large variety of fruit baskets in our Fruit Basket City. Having fondue this year? Nothing is more delicious than that pineapple dipped in chocolate. Pick up a Chiquita Gold pineapple, $1.88 each. Merry Christmas from Super One Foods, proud to be a part of your community.
So some people are asking, what's this warranty for life business? Hey, Max here from Donnelly Ford, and here's the deal. We are giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and qualified used vehicles. This means engines, transmissions, transfer cases, all the expensive stuff is covered. Plus, you get roadside assistance for 10 years. We're talking towing, service loaners, jump starts, lockout, gas, battery, water, flat tires, you name it. That's how Donnelly's lowers the cost on your next new ride. You always get more for your money at Donnelly Ford under the big American flag in Rapids.
Northern Pines Orthopedic Clinic has been providing orthopedic services to the region for over 30 years. They are providers for most insurance companies, including the St. Luke's Network. They provide non-operative and operative management of injuries and fractures, repetitive work and sports-related injuries, and chronic conditions such as arthritis. Dr. Baker and Jeff Temple accept walk-in appointments for acute orthopedic injuries Monday through Friday from 8 till 4. Call 326-6677. Northern Pines Orthopedic Clinic, getting you back to the sport of life.
If your windows stick, slip, squeak, or leak, replace them with Andersen windows. With low E-glass, low-maintenance exteriors, and rich wood interiors, standard and custom sizes, they can turn simple window replacement into serious home improvement.
Stop and see Derek, your Andersen window specialist at Andersen Glass, Grand Rapids.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. A former Chisago County sheriff is charged with felony stalking, threats of violence, and misconduct of an officer. Ex-sheriff Richard Duncan was actually the writer of a series of what he claimed were blackmail letters. Blackmail reportedly trying to get Duncan and a female coworker to attend a training session in Bemidji and stay overnight in a hotel. Duncan resigned from office after admitting he was writing the letters. Well, Hunger Solutions in Minnesota speaking out against the Trump administration's decision to implement strict work requirements for SNAP food stamp benefits.
Often it's just a way to shame people who deserve benefits, people who've worked hard all their lives. This is food. I think that is lost on some people sometimes when they want to make decisions about who does or doesn't deserve support.
Colleen Moriarty says 500,000 people in Minnesota struggle with hunger, including 163,000 kids. This is MNN.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Snow likely today, otherwise overcast skies. Daytime highs approaching 27, winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow tonight, lows level off around 18, cloudy skies expected. Chance of snow again tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 22, cloudy skies. 1 to 2 inches of snow today through tomorrow. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vuchitsky. Currently, it's 19.
It's time for the Home for the Holidays sports issue on 1320 KOZY and KOZYradio.com.
McLaughlin takes the puck with him, gets into the zone, goes far side, shot, goal! And Gephardt, it's 1-0!
That was a beautiful play.
Here's McLaughlin out to center ice, tries to work his way through. Now it's a 2-on-1, captured, shot, goal! Blake McLaughlin goes end-to-end and makes it 1-0 Grand Rapids.
The Home for the Holidays sports issue is brought to you by Northern Pines Orthopedic Clinic, Woodland Bank, Dowlinger Ford, Anderson Glass, and Super One Foods.
Here we go with third period action as Burnson lifts some room through center. Burnson, shot, goal! Jack Burnson picks the low corner that time and makes it 4-2. That looked fairly harmless. And now here's DiGiuseppe in his own zone. Comes to Miller. Miller has McLaughlin 1-on-3. Shot! Micah Miller picks the top corner on Meyerhoff, and Grand Rapids to the state tournament 3-2 over the Duluth East Greyhounds.
The Home for the Holiday sports issue starts now on KOZY. Ran out of music there right at the end. So, hey, welcome everybody to our special edition of the sports issue. Joe Gigliotti along with Sheldon Willis. How are you?
I'm doing well, except I can't hear myself. You got... hey, there we go.
Now I bet you can.
I can now. We got the mics turned on. It always helps.
Mm-hmm.
As we finally have this Home for the Holidays thing figured out. We've been trying to do it for 3 years.
Yep.
You do it this weekend before Christmas.
Exactly.
And you let Super Joe get all organized and send out emails to everyone in the world.
Right.
and then you get half the people in the world to come. It's great.
Exactly. We sent out about 60 messages, and we heard back from the majority, and we got about 21, 22 lined up for today, and looking forward to it. We'll be chatting with area high school sports alumni who are still playing and coaching the sports that they love, and we're kind of breaking it up, a hockey segment, and then volleyball and basketball, and pretty much every sport you can think of on planet Earth besides Jenga. And we're going to start with hockey.
We're going to start with mostly hockey. Siri said she played hockey in 3rd grade, so she's good to be in this segment.
Excellent.
But we have Ty Bischoff, Micah Miller. By the way, Micah, did that bring back some memories, the goal in the section final?
Oh, yeah, for sure. All those other videos made me kind of think back of the days.
And Siri Geisler, who is not playing hockey anymore, but I don't know, may take it up again, I don't know. John Stampahar, Zach Stasko, and Emily Erickson as... my headphones cut in and out. There we go. Now we got that fixed. So Ty, you were all worried about what I was going to ask you, but you're at UWS. Talk a little bit about, and you're getting a lot of playing time this year as a freshman, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm loving it out there, and it's been fun. It's been fun playing with another teammate from high school. Megan Dulong is there too. And we do a torpedo system there, so it's kind of funky, but we have 4 forwards and 1 defense, so we have 3D, and I'm one of them. So, yeah, we get a lot of playing time out there.
And how has the team been doing? You said I can't ask record, but I think I've seen some wins anyways come across.
We were struggling a little bit in the first half, but we're doing pretty good.
Now, so you have no question. You made the right decision. You're just a freshman now, but you made the right decision. You're happy at the school you're at.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm loving it there.
And have you picked a major and have all that straightened out too, or are you just taking generals?
Just generals. I'm thinking business, but not sure.
Now, Micah, for Division I college, it takes a little longer to end up at college because you've been playing some juniors and now finally with St. Cloud State. You don't have the same coach that recruited you. Was that an adjustment? All of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm not going to play for Motzko after all?
I don't think it was really that much of an adjustment because I never played for him, and he just recruited me there, and it's been great so far. Everybody loves Coach Larson, and he's a great guy, and great coach too.
And you have you're on an experienced team. Working for playing time is hard, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's tough when you're in and out of the lineup, but it's still a lot of fun because the team's doing really well.
And do you look at it like this is the year to kind of establish and get in, and then in the next 2-3 years you'll get your ice time because there's a lot of guys moving on?
Yeah, well, I don't really look at it from like year to year, but like you just during the week, during practice, you're always trying to compete for lineup spots in the weekend, and every game you're in, you try to compete to stay in the lineup. So just kind of take it weekend by weekend.
And Siri, there's no hockey where you're at.
Actually, there is. After the last year or two, maybe. I don't know. ASU just got a team. I haven't went to it yet, but
So are they playing actual Division I hockey?
They are.
Okay, Mike probably knows that. Yeah, okay.
All of them. So.
They're not on the St. Cloud State schedule yet.
No, but they're having a good year actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is hockey.
Top 15.
They did
20 or something.
They didn't recruit you for the team though, or anything.
Sadly, no.
No. But talk about your you transferred this. You're in your second year now at ASU.
Yeah, I'm in my second year. Going into my first year competing, and then I had medical redshirted last season.
Okay, because I went around and I kept looking for results from Siri and I couldn't find any, so I was sad.
Yeah, I actually tore my UCL and had Tommy John surgery last spring, and so I'm on the road to recovery, looking to compete come March.
And back throwing the javelin again?
Correct.
Is that?
Yep, in practice.
So how have things been going in that rehab from surgery and getting everything put back together?
It's going real good. Yeah, we're progressing. We're over halfway there, and just exciting to be able to start throwing again. And
now one of the reasons to go to ASU is you can train year round. You can
exactly. Yeah.
Throwing the javelin indoors doesn't work that well.
No.
You puncture the roof on those little domes and all of that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have the year-round practice available, and I guess what are your goals now? You still have 2 years of eligibility remaining, is what you said.
Yeah, my goals are still the same as they were before anything happened. I still want to make it to nationals and place there and bring points home for the team, and then just as a personal note, be top 20 and be able to compete at the USATFs come June or July.
And how did the injury happen, or was it more just a repetitive thing that it came on slow?
Bad form. Yeah.
Bad form. Okay.
Bad form. Dropped my arm. Threw it out. Basically like baseball when they.
And did you feel it was a one that you threw and it was like, it's gone?
Yep.
How was that? How did you like? What was your reaction when that happened?
I just grabbed myself. It was like but yeah, that was.
John Stampahar.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Talk a little bit about where you're at. I know you're committed to a D1 college, but you're not there yet, right?
Right, exactly. So I'm on there next fall, and it's out in Buffalo, New York. It's called Canisius. So
okay.
It's in the Atlantic Hockey League.
And where are you playing this year?
I'm Fairbanks, Alaska. It'll be my second year up there.
That's where Joe likes it up there.
Yeah, I've got an aunt and uncle up in Fairbanks,
Okay.
and first of all, you've had some brutal temperatures up there recently, haven't you?
Yeah, it's brutal right now. It's like -20 right now. So.
Yeah, I don't envy them, so I'm glad you're down here in tropical Grand Rapids for the Christmas break. Biggest difference is high school hockey versus the NAHL.
Yeah, basically, I feel like it's more dump and chase hockey. A lot of guys hit. They're all trying to get in the lineup every night. It's more of a business. It's not really. We got to play everybody. Coaches want to win. That's their job. That's what they're there for. So, kids come in and they want a scholarship, and just like anybody else, and everybody's trying to compete. So it's very fast hockey, and I'm sure Zach knows all about it too.
And you were a guy in high school, I know, who liked to come up the ice with the puck from the D zone. So are you kind of leaning towards dumping it in these days, or
No, that's my job. The coaches want me to do that. They know what type of hockey player I am, so they allow me to bring the puck up as much as I can. So.
And as mentioned, Zach Stasko joining us as well. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. So you're with, well, first of all, before I get to hockey, you had a birthday this week, didn't you?
Yeah, on Thursday there. Turned 19.
What'd you get?
I got a Yeti cooler.
Nice.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Cool. And I saw that on the I think on the Wilkes Barre, is that right?
Oh yeah.
Wilkes Barre Twitter page.
Yep.
NAHL as well. You were with, was it Bloomington before?
Yep. We're called the Central Illinois Flying Aces last season.
And how's your season going so far?
Personally, I'm doing really well. It's a long way from home, but I managed to get out there and perform and do the best I could.
And what do you see? Is it a lot of dump and chase hockey? Is that what you see as well, or what's the different challenges from a goalie's perspective?
Honestly, each division has its own thing. I think ours is a lot more skilled than like the South. Not really sure about like the Midwest, but no, it's pretty good. Yeah.
So, by the way, having a birthday so close to Christmas, does that cut into the Christmas presents because you get stuff?
Yeah,
for your
I get
birthday?
everything at once, pretty much.
So it's all over. You're not getting anything else.
Yeah, for sure.
That's tough. Why didn't you tell your parents to plan that more carefully? And Emily, we finally get all the way around the table. You're probably not even in our YouTube picture, unfortunately. So.
Oh, that's okay.
But they can still hear you. Okay. There's just, I can only do so much. Just lean in and I'll duck down. Coaching hockey, and we have obviously done some pregame interviews when Grand Rapids, Greenway, and Hibbing have played, but you're in your third year now?
Third year as head coach, 6th year over in Hibbing Chisholm.
And how has it been taking over from,
will be nice, call him a legend.
He's a legend, yeah.
Someone who has
That's accurate.
coached for so many years and really built that Hibbing girls program.
Well, I mean, it's been a blessing for me. Like you say, he is a legend. Pete Hyduk, he's been there for many years, and he knows how to run a great program. And I'm fortunate enough to still have him on the coaching staff. So he's still around the program that he built up so well, and still learning things from him every day. And it's, like I say, it's a blessing in disguise for me. And I think it's good for the program as a whole and for the girls as well. And he still has a lot of fun doing it.
Now, the first year you were coaching, he wasn't on your staff. Was that a conscious decision by Pete to give you your space to make it your program before he was on the staff?
Exactly. We kind of talked, and he knew for his sake and for the girls' sake and for the program's sake that he kind of needed to step away for a little bit so that they knew that, me coming in, I was the new head coach, and there wasn't going to be any confusion there. And I think it's been a great transition. He kind of made his way the second half of that season, and then playoff season, he was still with us then that first year. But that separation, I think, was a good thing for the girls, myself, and for him as well. And now he's back, and I think that we're all fitting into our roles really nicely. And like I say, it's a lot of fun, and we all learn from each other. I think we have a great coaching staff. We have a lot of members in our coaching staff. It's kind of funny. People look at us and go, "What? How many coaches you got?" But I love it. It's a lot of personalities, and you hear a lot of different opinions, and that way you get to choose from them and be the best you can be that way.
When did you say coaching is something I want to do? Was that already in high school, or was it during your college career? When did you say, I'd like to be a coach?
Yeah, I think it was back in high school. Excuse me. Working with some of the youth players and then getting out there and teaching them a couple things and then seeing the look on their face when they'd succeed at it was a great feeling. And I knew that I went in high school. I knew I wanted to go to be a math teacher as well. I liked math. I liked working with people, and like I say, I like seeing the look on their face when somebody's maybe struggled with something or practiced and tried something over and over and over, and then you see that practice pay off, and it's a satisfying feeling. You get to see it almost every day, and working with the kids, I mean, for me, it's a blessing. I have a lot of fun doing it. They're all great kids, and to go to work every day and feel like you can make a difference is, I think, something special for me to be able to say, and I'd hope everyone's able to say that when they go to work too. And like every day I feel blessed doing it. Sounds kind of cheesy, but I really do.
Well, if you want a job in northern Minnesota, being a math teacher and a hockey coach should get you there.
Yeah, I didn't have a hard time with that, so I was fortunate in that aspect. There was a lot of openings when I graduated college, and I was fortunate enough to find something close to home.
So any of you think, I might want to be a coach?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Micah says yes. Ty, you wanted to go to business, but you say coaching would be fun?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Should I ask this question? Best coach you've had in your career, and we can go right from Mighty Mites, volleyball. Doesn't matter. But the coach that maybe had the most influence, or the best coach you've had. Ty says, I don't want to go there.
That's hard to choose. We had a bunch of good coaches. Klatt was a great coach. I know Joe Broking, Dale Anderson, Ross Dean, they're all great coaches. And then I know I've had good coaches in juniors and in college as well so far.
Ty, you're not even.
No,
Micah just threw everybody out there, so he's not going to pick one.
No, I agree. I've loved all my coaches that I had, starting with Nooch when I was young, and then Brad in high school, and I don't know, they're all super good coaches.
I want someone to come out and give me a favorite coach.
I've had too many to pick.
Oh, yeah.
3 spot, no.
I'm gonna have to agree with Micah, so.
Yeah, I don't know if I can throw anybody under the bus.
No, I wasn't asking for that. I wasn't asking for your worst coach. I would never do that.
It's probably got to be Joe, Big Joe. I think he pushed us the hardest for sure at Bandmere. It's fun.
And do you like coaches that push you or get a little loud, or the list of coaches you went through, Mike? I know them well enough to know that some of them were loud and some of them weren't.
Yeah, I guess I don't really prefer a certain type, but I think it's good that we did have both types, because some guys have a certain way of coaching their whole way, and then they get a coach that really gets on you and they don't know how to react and they don't know how to adjust. So I think it's good we had both.
Now, real quickly, I guess, just give me your goals for the rest of the season that you're in right now, personal and team-wise. What are your goals?
Team-wise, so for our second half, we're switching back to standard hockey, and so I think for our team goal, just to get that system down and to be able to get pucks to the net. Personal for me, I'll get pucks to the net and up the ice and just move my feet.
For the team, I'd say we're just trying to take it weekend at a time, but obviously we want to make the NCAA tournament and we don't want to look too far ahead. But personal, I just want to play every game hopefully, or try to, and just stay in the lineup.
All right. My personal goals are to be able to compete come March, throw over 55 meters, win Pac-12s, and place top 5 NCAAs.
Those are high goals.
Yeah. I guess our team goal would probably be get some redemption from last year at the Robertson Cup, try to get back there and try to win it this year.
So runner-ups last year, is that?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
We just need to, we have to teach all the younger guys that are coming in that, the older guys want to get back to that place because they don't know much about junior hockey, so a lot of us have to mentor them and so basically just tell them,
And there's a lot of turnover in junior hockey, right? What do you get, about a third of the team turnover year by year?
Yeah, it all depends on, how your team's doing and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say so. That's about accurate. Personal goal would probably be, just be a leader because it's my second year up there, and just trying to guide kids to, what our team aspect is and on and off the ice and what we do. So.
Yeah, I mean, what John said, making to the Robbie would be a huge achievement, and hopefully we get to play each other one day down the road. But no, a personal goal is just to stay one of the top goalies in the NL and going to UMD next year.
And you looking forward to that? Starting out at UMD, and Hunter will probably be there one more year when you're there.
He'll be a senior unless he turns pro. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there'll be. You think you can push him for the spot, or he's kind of made that his team, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, I learn a lot from him. Because after that, it's supposed to be my job. So hopefully, I can just take a lot from him next year. Sure.
Do your goals change as you get a little older? Now you have a real adult job and everything.
Right, a big girl job. They do a little bit, but it's fun. It's kind of fun to sit here and listen to them all talk about theirs. But as a team, for our program, we hope to be making a trip down to the state tournament and making an impact when we get there this year. Personally, it's my goal every day to try to impact the lives of the players that I'm dealing with and working with. I say dealing with like it's a poor thing, but no, it's that I'm working with and hopefully impact it in a positive way.
Well, I'm going to head back over to the controls, but we really appreciate everybody coming in here this morning, and best of luck the rest of your seasons, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We got another group. I see Jake Skelly waiting in the hall, so we must have a basketball segment coming in. Thanks, everyone, and it's been a lot of fun. So the sports issue, the Home for the Holidays edition, marches on. If you're watching our YouTube feed, you can see we got the changeover going on, and Super Joe back in the studio here in a moment, and we'll take a little break and get back with more Home for the Holidays here on the sports issue, KOZY.
Honey, we should get that new Kasasa loan.
Oh, yeah, it lets you pay ahead.
And take back the extra money if you need it.
Or you could leave it in and save on interest.
Ooh, or take it back and get a swimming pool.
Or just pay off the loan faster.
Or take it back.
Or pay ahead.
Introducing the Kasasa loan, the only loan with take-backs. One more way you can take back banking. Ask for Kasasa at any Woodland Bank location or go to woodlandbank.com. Woodland Bank, member FDIC.
A recent survey shows that 92% of Grand Rapids students say their parents don't allow underage drinking at home. We asked some kids why they think parents have rules against underage drinking. Here's what they had to say.
Because it's bad for us. They care about us. We could get hurt and wreck our lives.
Thanks, Grand Rapids parents, for setting rules and keeping us safe.
This Rapids Rising message is brought to you by Grand Rapids in Prevention, funded by the Minnesota Department of Human Services Alcohol and Drug Abuse Division.
Let Super One Foods help you prepare a delicious Christmas meal for your family and friends. On sale this week, Smithfield ham, 77 cents each, limit one ham with separate $25 purchase. Black Angus New York strip roast, $6.96 a pound. Give the gift of health this year. Choose from our large variety of fruit baskets in our Fruit Basket City. Having fondue this year? Nothing is more delicious than that pineapple dipped in chocolate. Pick up a Chiquita Gold pineapple, $1.88 each. Merry Christmas from Super One Foods, proud to be a part of your community.
So some people are asking, what's this warranty for life business? Hey, Max here from Dollar Ford, and here's the deal. We are giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and qualified used vehicles. This means engines, transmissions, transfer cases, all the expensive stuff is covered. Plus, you get roadside assistance for 10 years. We're talking towing, service loaners, jump starts, lockout, gas, battery, water, flat tires, you name it. That's how Dollars lowers the cost on your next new ride. You always get more for your money at Dollar Ford under the big American flag in Rapids.
Hi, this is Mindy Nuring, Director of River Grand Senior Living.
And this is Jessica Wolf, Director of Majestic Pines Senior Living.
We wish to express our gratitude for the privilege of being part of the lives of our tenants and their families.
And we wish to express what these relationships mean to us and our staff.
We are grateful for the wonderful opportunity to care for and be a part of your journey at River Grand and Majestic Pines.
As we take time and reflect this holiday season, it is our honor and privilege to serve the tenants and their families at both River Grand and Majestic Pines.
This holiday season, Shaw Forest would like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas by doing our very best to live up to your expectations when you extend your sincerest holiday best wishes with floral gifts to family, friends, and business associates. We believe your holiday floral gifts add to the warmth and festive atmosphere in the homes of everyone on your list, because the natural beauty of flowers truly are a beautiful way to say Merry Christmas.
The new 2019 Minnesota Gold telephone directory from Paul Bunyan Communications is here. Stop in and pick one up at our office in Bemidji or Grand Rapids, or grab a mini Minnesota Gold for the glove compartment. Of course, you can always look up the information you're looking for online too, with up-to-date listings throughout the year at localsolution.com. Go for the gold, the 2019 Minnesota Gold telephone directory from Paul Bunyan Communications.
Go for the gold, Minnesota Gold, telephone directory. Classic radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Snow likely today, otherwise overcast skies. Daytime highs approaching 27, winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow tonight, lows level off around 18, cloudy skies expected. Chance of snow again tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 22, cloudy skies. 1 to 2 inches of snow today through tomorrow. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vuchitsky. Currently, it's 19.
Schwam now to Skelly. Skelly will drive, put up the tough one. Got it.
Wow, great shot to go in the lane there. A couple people in his face and drops it in.
Skelly tries to power it up and does somehow. Gets it home.
I think surrounded by 4, he went up hard and got a great basket there.
With 8 seconds left, wild shot won't fall. Ball on the floor. Miska with 3 seconds has to go. Hamling, long three, go! Behind the volleyball line at the buzzer, 45-29. Now to Hamling, takes the long three and drops it in from the volleyball line. That's Evan Hamling.
From the playground is what they would call that one. Holy buckets, that was incredible.
The Home for the Holidays sports issue continues here on KOZY as hockey segment. Check. And now we move on to basketball and volleyball. Sheldon, who do we have out there right now?
Well, we have Evan Hamling, Jake Skelly, highlighted them. We obviously didn't have enough Hill City highlights to find one for Emily and Madison Lathrop.
we could set up like a net or something and do our best to do that.
You know, it has to be real and live, or I don't get us cranked up.
Okay. Well,
And you didn't you didn't have anything from the Moody highlights from when Heaven took over the section final game against Hermantown her junior year, did you?
I'm sure they're there somewhere.
They have to be back there somewhere. That was the one game that I'm still mad that I missed. I believe it was the boys had me down doing state tournament games or something. I forget why I was doing another game.
Yeah, I think it was maybe hockey or something.
Yeah, hockey state tournament. That's what it was. Yeah. Darn them anyways. Hockey messes everything up. I didn't say that last segment or I would have been beat up. But talk about some of your memories of high school games, couple state tournaments, but that Hermantown game your junior year has to be right up there too, Heaven.
Yeah, that was one of probably my best memories because like we were down 7 with like a minute to go or less than that even, and we just like came together. I know some people on the bench were crying and like thought we were gonna lose, but like we just came together as a team and pulled through and we won. And then just being in the state tournament the past 3 years, like it really creates great memories with your teammates, and it just gives something for the young and work harder for each year.
So Jake, what are some of your memories of high school sports? Your senior year when you finally got over that hump, made it back to state.
Yeah, that's probably my best memory is going to state my senior year, but I mean there's so many it's hard to choose from, but I'd say that's probably my best one.
Now we have a little smaller school memories. We finally get away from Grand Rapids alumni here with Emily Madison, both from Hill City and both standout volleyball players in your day at Hill City. What are some of your memories of high school sports in your careers at Hill City? Start with you, Emily.
I remember playing Northwoods my senior year, and that was a big game for us. We'd been kind of planning for it and preparing for it all season, and we came together and played really well and beat them, so it was a lot of fun. It seems like a while ago, but it was a lot of fun.
How quickly does do the high school memories seem rather distant? Because you make new friends, you move on.
Yeah, I mean, this is my second year at ICC, so everything like kind of mixed together. Once you get out of high school, like you don't remember what year anything happened and all of that.
Your brain goes to mush as soon as you go to college, right?
Yeah.
You got all the classes. So Madison, you're at ICC and St. Scholastica.
Yep.
For Emily, and Valley City.
Yep.
And Stephen F. Austin. You're the one who, and I asked you about it before we went on the air. I asked you about it when you signed Heaven. Why Stephen F. Austin? Why getting all the way to Texas? You hate winter that much?
No, actually coming back, I really like it. But I don't know, I just really like the coaches and the school and everything they had to offer. And when I was a freshman, I played in an AAU tournament in Texas, and I just said I want to play basketball in Texas someday, and I did. So.
What are some of are there cultural adjustments? Are things a little different in Texas? What are some of the things you've noticed so far?
Yeah, definitely. Just like the way like they talk and stuff. Like I say bag and they say bag, and I get made fun of it every single day.
You have an accent.
Yeah, and just like the things they eat, like they're so big on crawfish and like all that kind of southern stuff. So
what is the best southern dish that you've tried? One that you would never find in Rapids that you say, hey, this is actually pretty good.
They haven't really made any like southern things for me yet, but just probably like the Rotel dip, if you know what that is. But it's just like a football thing that you make like a cheese and queso dip before the football games.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So you didn't go quite as far away, but you can't commute back and forth like Madison. Jake, you're in your sophomore year. You're still happy with your choice, and how is the season going?
Oh, good. I love it out there, and I couldn't go too far away. Mom wouldn't let me, but it was good enough distance where I could stay away. But
get just far enough away from. Okay.
Yeah, and the season's going pretty well. Our record's not great right now. We've had a tough non-conference season, but coming into conference play, I feel like we're pretty prepared for it.
And are you in the starting lineup now as a sophomore? Or?
Yeah, I am. I was a little banged up early on, so I had missed a few games for injuries, but I'm back now, so getting ready for the end of the season.
What's the biggest thing that's changed
in your game or with you physically between high school, the Jake Skelly we would have seen here at Grand Rapids and the one you'd seen out at Valley City?
Well, I'm not 160 pounds anymore, so I feel like that's my biggest change. Put on a little weight, whether that's good or not. And as far as my game changing, it's not as much scoring, and it's more of a traditional point guard style, and that's kind of more my role now.
Have you worked to put on that weight, or is it just something that's happened?
No, I definitely have worked to put on that weight. It'd be pretty tough to play at the college level. Like I said, at 160 pounds, you get pushed around a lot, and even now, I think I'm 195. I get pushed around quite a bit still, but still something I'm working at.
So Emily, at St. Scholastica, and volleyball is the sport.
Yep.
And how did the volleyball season go for St. Scholastica this last season? That season's done now, right? Yeah.
Yep. It was all right. We were about 500 this year. We did okay in conference, but we had a really fun team. Like you wouldn't have thought that we were 500. You would have thought we were winning them all. So it was just a lot of fun. Really fun team.
And what conference? Like, who are some of the schools that you play? Who are some of the big rivals?
Northwestern's a big one. Morris. We play Superior and Bethany Lutheran and teams like that.
And you have another local on the team, don't you, Sophia?
Yes.
Okay, Ryla from Greenway?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun having her back. She didn't play last year, but she played her senior year now, and so it was a lot of fun having her back. She's so high energy.
If I'm not mistaken, Sheldon, there was a picture in the News Tribune this fall of both Emily and Sophia from a CSS game, and I thought, well, that's cool. Two local names on the sports there. That's very cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
So you're the homebody.
Yeah.
Madison. You're the one who just commutes to school and didn't have to move or anything.
No.
Has that been a good choice for you, going to Itasca?
Yeah, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do at first, so going to ICC was the best choice for me.
You don't blow a huge amount of money. You don't have to uproot everything to.
And it's so much fun there.
Okay.
So much fun.
And volleyball and softball, you get to play two sports, right?
Yep.
And talk a little bit about how the volleyball season was a little tough there at ICC this year. I know you. I talked to Leslie Reed a few times because I'd see her at Greenway games, and not a lot of players on the team. I think everyone got playing time.
Yep, everyone definitely got playing. It was rocky at times, but it was a lot of fun because we had girls from Little Fork, Big Falls, and Reamer and all them. So, and Nashwauk. So we all kind of knew each other because we played each other in high school for so long. So. Being on the same team was a lot of fun.
And is this your second year at ICC?
Yeah.
And so now have you decided on a major, or are you just going to go to work after this? What
yeah.
How have things worked out for you there?
I decided probably something like children's psychology and go to UWS for that.
Will you be able to keep playing sports there, or are you going to say, no, I'm just going to go to classes now?
Just do classes and everything.
And you're just a freshman, Heaven. You're the kid out of all of this group, right?
Yeah.
And have you decided on a major yet? And
Yes.
what are you looking at?
I'll be majoring in business management with a certificate in construction management, and one day I hope to flip houses. So yeah.
That sounds like that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy real estate a little bit, and. You said about 17 minutes a game is what you've been averaging.
Yep.
How has that been, just kind of breaking in with the team as a freshman, and what's your role there?
Well, now I'm not a point guard anymore. Our coach wants me to play strictly 2, so I can score a little bit more. And just stepping in off the bench, it's really eye-opening to see everything that you have to do compared to what I had to do in high school. You have to just concentrate on your own game and make sure that you're doing everything that the coach wants you to and the other players want you to do. And it's different from when you're a senior and you kind of know the entire program, and when you're a freshman you're just kind of thrown in there and you got to do what you can do to stay on the floor.
And as a senior in high school, in a lot of ways that was kind of your team, right?
Yeah.
You were the one. And I had said it a few times, almost like a second coach.
Yeah.
The coach on the floor, and I think you were that way your senior year as a point guard as well in high school, right, Jake? That was, well, it can never not be Elhard's team, but
Yeah, and I think we had a good group of seniors my senior year as well, so we just had good leadership all around.
But now, your role is a little more defined. You say, okay, I'm going to come in, I need to do this, I better take the open shot and I better make it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, it's so different because you don't know like what the coach wants you to do, and you don't know this and that. But when I was with my mom, like I knew everything, like, and she like just kind of let me do what I needed to do. And then when you come into college, it's a whole another system with a whole bunch of different plays and a whole bunch of different defenses you have to memorize.
Well, this is the first time you haven't had your mom coaching you in quite a few years.
Yeah, I had different coaches,
AAU and
yeah.
stuff, but is that an adjustment?
No, not really. I mean, I like being coached by other people, but I definitely think that it's helped in like the long run, because when like she would get on me about this or that, it's definitely prepared me for when I got to the college level with the coaches there. So.
Should I tell you what your mom told me this year? I could always yell at heaven and she would listen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like hard getting yelled at, but when it comes from your mom, you kind of take it as, oh, you just want to get back at her. But yeah, it's definitely prepared me for when she's gotten on me, and yeah.
Well, what's the difference in coaching styles that you see when you see college coaches as compared to high school, or not that much different?
I mean, for me personally, I think they're a lot different. I don't know if that just has to do with the style of coaching between my two coaches, but just at the college level, it's just one step. Everything's just one step higher. You know, every detail is that much more important. So I think you really stress those things, like a turnover in high school versus a turnover in college could be the game. And where high school, at least it felt like they weren't as big of a deal, and that's something I've learned being at college, is how important taking care of the ball is and playing good defense and that type of stuff.
Because Elhard would be known as a defensive coach a lot of times, but you're saying it ramps up even farther.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very blessed that I had Coach Elhard and Coach Bachman as coaches, because they were so defensive-minded that I think that helped me make the jump to college. But, yeah, I mean, well, kids are just so much more athletic at every level you go up, you know, so having that defensive background really helps.
Emily, your advice to current high school athletes who maybe want to play college sports?
I would say, I think a big part of it is balancing athletics and academics. So just get in contact with teachers early, coaches early, really make those relationships, and it'll make the season a lot easier.
And number one item on your Christmas list is?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I always like workout clothes, so I'm hoping to get some of those.
All right.
Yeah.
Madison, your advice for high school athletes?
Well, like when we were in high school, me and our coach would make us wake up at like 6:30 in the morning every morning and go to the weight room and stuff, so that definitely helps. And just not be lazy about it, like keep going and keep at it all the time.
Number one on your Christmas list is?
I don't know. Probably clothes. I like clothes.
Okay. Two-part question for you, Heaven. Who wins a three-point contest between you and Taryn Hamling?
Definitely me.
Definitely you?
Yeah,
okay.
we kind of figured that out yesterday. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what was the score, or the final?
Like we just shoot whoever gets 5 first, and I got 5 first. She only had 2.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, did I see a picture on Twitter of an alumni game of sorts?
Yeah, we had an alumni game yesterday.
Very cool. How far back did the alumni go?
We had Caitlin Gurton on our team, and when I was an 8th grader, she was a senior, so.
And the second part of my original question, who wins a three-point contest between you and Jake Skelly?
I would have to say me.
You? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Jake, well, should we go to the gym after this and settle this before the day's out?
Yeah, I knew that question was going to come up.
Yeah, me too. I knew that was coming.
But, you know, I think it would be a good contest, but I finally might just have to give it to Heaven.
Yeah, because you're the point guard, you're not a shooting guard anymore.
I'll pass it to her and she can make it.
There you go.
He wins the assist contest. Yeah, I knew you were going to ask that, Super Joe.
I know.
Yeah, you had to go there. As you, let's see, we talked a little bit about what you're looking. Who haven't I asked about your classes and what you're majoring in. I don't think I've asked you. I asked Heaven already.
Oh yeah, I'm majoring in exercise science and kinesiology. I'm looking to be a physical therapist after school.
And Emily?
I am majoring in social work and pre-OT, so I've applied to some grad schools for occupational therapy, and I'm waiting to hear back.
Wow, that's an interesting double.
Yeah, that's what I get a lot. A lot of people say
Yeah.
it's really interesting, but they usually work together out in the field, so I'm excited.
Okay, very good. I've got a daughter who's majoring in social work, just graduating. So I rub shoulders with that a little bit.
Yeah.
As you look at the rest of the season, those of you that are playing basketball, what's the main thing you're focused on now for the rest of the year, personally and team-wise? How's the team doing, and what are your goals there?
Our team's doing all right. We are 8-3 now. We just lost to New Mexico yesterday or Friday. Yeah, no, Thursday. We just lost to New Mexico, and we have one more non-conference game on the 30th. And just after that, looking to going into our conference, we're ranked second in our conference. So just like staying healthy as a team and coming together, just executing and just staying together throughout the whole conference schedule, because it's really tough, like just having weights and all the practices we do to stay healthy and keep your body going each and every day.
Is it tough to balance class and ball your freshman year?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it was tough, but I mean, you still gotta like do it. You gotta stay up late every night and study. It's just kind of a thing you have to do, because like when you're on those road trips and stuff, like you miss at least 3 days of school, and that's really tough, especially when you're in college, because I mean, the professor's not like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do your homework. Like they're not on you like they are in high school, so it's kind of, you're on your own and you have to do your homework and study and get good grades.
Easier to balance it your second year than your first, Jake, as far as classes and ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think as you go, you just like learn better how to manage it. I'm still learning as well, but I think it also helps, not being at a high major or D1 school where, you're missing so much school, and the school is just smaller in general, so it's more of a, the teachers care a little bit more as far as not the
Classes a little smaller.
Yeah, you got more relationships with your teachers.
Now, your sports aren't going on right now, so is this a time to kind of catch up and get more established, make sure the classes go?
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of nice for volleyball because you start out right in the season with school, so you kind of get used to having that big time commitment with volleyball and then school also. So once volleyball's done, you have so much more time for homework.
Is it just as hard at a community college, or is it a little easier there?
Well, I don't have anything to compare
You don't have
to, but
next year I can ask you this question.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it is kind of tricky at times, but I wouldn't say it's that. I mean, it's not that difficult because our coaches are pretty good about giving us time to do stuff.
So at Stephen F. Austin, it's not like you're on the basketball team, we'll give you a break.
No,
there's
not
no
really.
breaks.
No. I mean, there's definitely some benefits, but I mean, some teachers, they don't really care if you're on a sports team or not. Like, they still they're tough on you.
Well, they should be.
Yeah.
They should. Have you, during the Christmas break, gotten to any high school games or been back and forth with your high school teams at all? You said you had the alumni game. You can't get away from it. It's all family.
Yeah, I can't. But I actually just got in from the airport last night, or right before the alumni game, so I'll probably go to the boys basketball game for a little bit today.
And Jake, how long have you gotten to see the boys at all, or?
I haven't got to see them yet. I'll be there this afternoon, but I did practice with them a couple times last week, just to catch up with the coaches and see how they were doing. And it was fun.
Who'd you school?
I can't name any names, but Stacy Washington.
Well, yeah, okay, I'll leave that. A lot of comments were there. There's a lot of places we could take that thread, but we'll just leave it go. Actually, what I'll say is Stacy played maybe it was you pushing him, but he played a whale of a game defensively on Thursday against a good offensive player in DeChambeau.
Yeah, I heard that was a really good game and there was a good atmosphere there. I'm sad that I wasn't able to go there, but my dad was telling me that's probably the most packed he's seen that gym in a while. So.
Yeah, it was full, it was loud, and it was a lot of fun. Well, being you're not basketball. You did play high school basketball though, right? Even though you didn't play in college. So have you been around the high school at all and catching up with people that are there now, or is it more, no, I want to see the friends that I graduated with over the holidays?
Oh, kind of. Well, I do go to a lot of games now because my younger sister plays.
Yeah.
So.
We just had open gym volleyball and a bunch of, we all went together, and so that was fun catching up. But.
So it wasn't an actual alumni game, but just a lot of alumni there.
Yeah, exactly.
And a whole team of people.
Yeah, we scrimmaged the older people as a team.
And how'd you do?
I think we won. Yeah. It was kind of split, but.
We got lazy at times.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Everyone's no one. There is no system, right?
No.
In that kind of volleyball, you're just having fun.
Yep, exactly.
Is it fun to go out and play? And pick up volleyball or playground basketball where there's not a system and you can just create and have fun and kind of remember why you loved the game as a kid, as opposed to being more structured and in a game situation or a coaching situation?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think it's important too. Now being at the college level, it's still fun, but it's more business-like. Some people, you're getting paid to go to school there, and in that sense, playing like at the playground or at the YMCA and stuff, it kind of just lets you relax and remember why you love the game while you're playing it.
But does that happen mostly in the off season? You don't have time right now.
No, not right now. I mean, some are still strictly like do this, do that, but you get a lot of like free time in the summer, and I think that's where you kind of learn and create and give yourself opportunities to try something new in the games. So.
Well, it's been a lot of fun catching up with some more graduates from the area, not just Grand Rapids, but Hill City graduates and what you're doing now. And I'm just seeing that for our next segment, playing weight might be a little more than 195.
Yeah, definitely.
Alex, come on in as we finish this segment. Jake was all proud that he's bulked up and is playing at 195 now. What's your playing weight? Here. You're a little more than 195?
Yeah, it's about 100 more pounds than 195.
He could push you around yet, Jake.
Oh, I think no matter what weight I was at, Alex could push me around. So.
And Alex will be part of our next segment as we roll along with our Home for the Holidays sports issue. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And we will take a quick break here on the sports issue. We have your car care tip of the day coming up next. ABC News at 9. And then we'll chat some more sports, some track and field. We'll chat some golf, softball, and more. The Home for the Holidays sports issue continues on KOZY.
It's time for the Car Care Tip of the Day, sponsored by Hibbing Chrysler Center. Hibbing and Superior Chrysler Centers are having a sale so big, they had to hold it in 2 locations. It's the Big Finish event, and they're out for a year-end sales record. The goal is to say yes to every offer, and their prices won't be beat. Plus, receive a $1,000 gift card when you purchase from their in-stock select inventory. All vehicles will be clearly marked with your savings. The Big Finish event going on now at Hibbing and Superior Chrysler Centers. You know what sets car dealers apart isn't cars, it's deals and service. At Hibbing and Superior Chrysler Centers, everybody gets a great deal on every car every day, new or certified pre-owned, buy or lease. It's the ride you want at the price you want, with service you can depend on. Hibbing and Superior Chrysler Centers, where everybody gets a great deal.
With today's car care tip, I'm Tim Edwards. Own a car long enough, and you'll eventually find yourself standing in an auto repair shop trying to decipher what the technician is trying to tell you. The only common language may be how much it's going to cost. Here's some questions you should ask. Can you show me the problem? Most mechanics aren't out to rip you off, but if they are, they can often be tripped up by a simple request to see which part is in need of attention. You'll always want to ask this. Besides, having a visual aid will also help make the tech's explanation easier to understand. And what happens if I don't fix this?
Be sure to ask the shop what the consequences might be of not taking care of an issue right away. You should ask what happens in the long term if something doesn't get fixed. And can you prioritize these repairs? Some repairs are more urgent than others. That's today's Car Care Tip. I'm Tim Edwards.
The Car Care Tip of the Day, sponsored by the Hibbing Chrysler Center. Listen for the Car Care Tip of the Day, 8:50 a.m. on 1320 KOZY.
This holiday season, Shaw Forest would like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas by doing our very best to live up to your expectations when you extend your sincerest holiday best wishes with floral gifts to family, friends, and business associates. We believe your holiday floral gifts add to the warmth and festive atmosphere in the homes of everyone on your list, because the natural beauty of flowers truly are a beautiful way to say Merry Christmas.
The 2019 Minnesota Gold Telephone Directory is here. If you didn't get one delivered to your home or business, or you'd like an extra directory, or you want to pick up a mini Minnesota Gold, just stop by the Paul Bunyan Communications office in Bemidji or Grand Rapids and pick one up. And of course, you can always look something up online with updated listings throughout the year at localsolution.com. It's the 2019 Minnesota Gold, the official directory of Paul Bunyan Communications.
I remember the moment. I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
As long as I live.
That moment, we arrived on the scene.
The storm had nearly destroyed the area.
This was our own community. Friends, family, people we grew up with, went to school with. We were there to help.
Several of us were working to rescue a family. They made it down to the storm cellar, but the house collapsed on top of the cellar door and trapped them.
We had chainsaws going, and we had to use Humvees and heavy machinery to move massive trees and debris.
We got them out. We helped a lot of people out. It felt good to know I could really make a difference. Right here, close to home, in my state.
It was one of those life-changing moments where I realized I am making a difference in these people's lives and mine. I'm a citizen soldier in the National Guard.
You can serve part-time and be there the moment your community needs you. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Brought to you by 1320 KOZY. 1320 KOZY Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids' original radio station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Lawmakers will be back in the next few hours on Capitol Hill trying to strike a deal that will end the partial government shutdown. President Trump warning that the shutdown that started at midnight could last for a long time if the Senate does not approve the spending bill that gives him more than $5 billion for his proposed border wall. ABC's Kenneth Morton has more from Washington.
The president summoned Senate Republicans to the White House. Trump is now urging Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to use the nuclear option, passing the funding bill with a simple majority instead of 60 votes. McConnell has repeatedly resisted changing Senate rules, and Democrats are not backing down.
Democratic leaders say they're willing to allocate $1.6 billion for border security, but won't approve money to build a border wall. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer in today's Democratic Weekly Address.
President Trump has thrown a temper tantrum and now has us careening towards a Trump shutdown over Christmas.
The partial shutdown affecting roughly 25% of government agencies, including the Justice Department, Homeland Security, and the IRS, TSA, and other essential employees will work without a paycheck for now. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is recovering this morning from surgery to remove cancerous tumors. The 85-year-old is expected to be in a New York hospital for the next few days. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is outside the Supreme Court.
Ginsburg's lung cancer is just the latest in a string of health scares she's recovered from. The 2 nodules were discovered on her left lung by coincidence when she had tests performed after she fractured 3 ribs during a fall in her office in November. At 85 years old, Ginsburg is the senior member of the liberal wing, serving for more than a quarter of a century, often countering some conservatives on the bench.
U.S. markets closed with losses Friday after suffering Wall Street's worst week in years. To make matters worse, this month is on track to become the worst December for stocks since 1931. You're listening to ABC News.
TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and HomeGoods present the most helpful innovation in last-minute holiday shopping. Offline shopping. too late to ship, you can still find something personal in person. With offline shopping, you don't see gifts in virtual reality. You see them in reality. And with new gifts arriving in our stores through Christmas Eve, you'll find great ideas at great prices in real time. Because with offline shopping, there's still time to get gifts hand-delivered to you, by you, instantly. We've got ideas at great prices. TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods.
At Walgreens, we know holiday plans never go according to plan. Somehow, there's always more presents than paper to wrap them. Batteries not included stops the holiday dead in its tracks. And without stuffers, stockings are just socks. Thankfully, we're minutes away, so you can dash into Walgreens for holiday must-haves and gift of the week deals. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. This week, 50% off number 7 Beauty Star Collection and Roxella Radio Control Car. Valid 12/16 through 12/22 with card. Quantities limited.
A Colorado man is under arrest in connection with the disappearance of his fiancée. He's charged with first-degree murder. Kelsey Barrett was last seen on Thanksgiving Day. Police spent this past week searching the man's property outside Denver. ABC's Clayton Sandell is in Denver with the latest.
Patrick Frazee is behind bars. Police and FBI agents swarming his home early Friday, coming face-to-face with Frazee just as he was about to leave his property, holding him at gunpoint. Frazee now facing charges for allegedly murdering his missing fiancée, 29-year-old Kelsey Barrett. Police say Frazee was the last person to see Barrett meeting to pick up their 1-year-old daughter shortly after she was last seen in public Thanksgiving Day.
It's the final Saturday before Christmas and the last weekend to get those gifts in time. And with time running out, stores are expanding their hours and offering some steep discounts to draw in those last-minute shopping crowds. ABC's Ariel Rushoff is at Best Buy in New York City.
134 million people expected to spend up to $26 billion this weekend. Retailers still looking to lure you with those last-minute deals. Old Navy offering up to 75% off store-wide. Kohl's with up to 60% off on home goods. Best Buy with $150 off certain Apple products and Beats by Dre headphones for half off. And to beat the rush, Target, Walmart, and Best Buy still letting you order those gifts online and pick up in stores.
This is ABC News.
Give joy, get joy at Kohl's. We've got your last-minute gifts. Stores are now open 24 hours through 6 p.m. Christmas Eve. Take an extra 15% off when you spend under $100, or take an extra 20% off when you spend $100 or more. And get Kohl's Cash. Short on time? Buy online. Free store pickup. Most orders ready in 2 hours. Give joy, get joy at Kohl's. Select styles 15 and 20% offers valid December 9th through 24th with promo code SNOWMAN. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Michelle Franz on ABC News.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Snow likely today, otherwise overcast skies. Daytime highs approaching 27, winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow tonight, lows level off around 18, cloudy skies expected. Chance of snow again tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 22, cloudy skies. 1 to 2 inches of snow today through tomorrow. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vuchitsky. Currently, it's 19.
On second, and Lane Gerber, I think, is looking for his first hit today. He is 0 for 2.
2 out, just looking for a clean hit.
There it is! Down the baseline. That may score 2. Here comes Zach Green to score. Myers score. 3-1. Clutch hit by Lane Gerber. Nice hit down the third baseline, right over the bag.
Yeah, don't get much perfect than that. It's 2 RBIs for Gerber.
Zekich winds, fires, and this is lined solidly to left field. It will score 1. Tatum Klatt coming in as well, scored 2. So a 2-run single for Bailey Kinnunen. And it's 3-0, bringing in Geislinger from third. Tatum Klatt, who got a good read on that ball, comes in from second.
Second hour of the Home for the Holidays sports issue on 1320 KOZY. And Sheldon, we're proud to welcome in a few more area alumni Three different sports represented for this segment.
It is. You went back into the archives to find find that Bailey Kinnunen highlight.
Yeah, thank goodness for the search option. Search by last name.
And I've obviously never included Alex on any of the highlight calls, and Alex drives the guy back into the linebacker level and opens a huge hole for the running back. I obviously never said that, Alex, or Joe would have found it.
Yeah. See, you just recreated the highlight, or created one right there.
I did, because I know that happened a number of times in high school, Alex, but I just somehow didn't say your name often enough. That's the problem being an offensive lineman, right? No, never get the recognition you deserve.
Yeah, no, it's always the running backs and the wide receivers, people that make the plays.
And the quarterback. Is that... So did you play football in high school as well?
Yeah, I did my junior and my senior year.
Okay. And you probably wanted to be a running back or...
Well, yeah, I played running back and quarterback and everything except for center by the time I was done.
See, Lane's one of those glory grabbers, Alex. He just wants those places where he's seen. Lane Gerber, Alex Boyd, Bailey Kinnunen here on this segment of Home for the Holidays. Megan Pearson was scheduled to be here and unfortunately contracted some illness and not able to come. So we're missing you, Megan. We wish you would be here as well. But we'll do with what we have, and we've had a lot of fun already this morning in the last hour and 10 minutes, just catching up with people that are still playing sports that have graduated over the last few years. And Bailey, you're a junior already?
Yep.
At UWS, right?
Yep.
All right. I got the right. And you know I'm going to bring this up after you told me not to.
No. Okay.
Because I listen about as well as a 16-year-old girl.
Yep, just hit me with it.
Boom. You expanded your career into college golf. Tell us about your college golf experience.
I am probably the worst golfer that has ever attempted to play for the University of Wisconsin-Superior. I think my best score at a meet was maybe a 121, maybe, down from like a 132 my last attempt. So, yeah, I mean, it's just another thing to put on my resume. Success.
And what was the motivation to do it? Was it we need players, or was it I just would like to do something different, and I know some of the girls, or what was the motivation to do it?
Well, my roommate's on the golf team. She's a really good golfer. And our old coach that we had for a while, he also coached softball. He had asked a couple of the softball players to just, come hang out at golf and make it more fun for everyone. So we were kind of the entertainment, the jokers of the team.
Okay, all right. So you just provided comic relief mostly.
Yeah, basically.
But you did put a score down in one meet.
Yeah, humiliatingly.
Okay, so you're not going to move on to the LPGA. It's not what you're not what you're working on.
Absolutely not.
So has anything like that happened to you two, Alex or Lane, where you've tried out for a sport you really weren't very good at any level?
Certainly not. No.
No.
Sports that I like.
No, and it was you were good at it, but you went out for wrestling your senior year, first time?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you certainly didn't embarrass yourself. I know that. You were a great wrestler, but that was something you picked up fairly late. Was that the coach saying, come on, you can do this?
Well, yeah, the coach then was also my throwing coach for the track and Jinx.
Yep.
So, I mean, and I also wrestled in elementary school, but that probably doesn't really count. So, yeah, I just figured I'd go out and just, do something that I would rather say I did than rather say I wish I did,
Right.
Yeah.
Just kind of add to that senior year of high school, give you something more to do, as if a senior needs more to do.
Yeah.
There's always stuff going on. You said you went out for football your junior and senior year, right?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to play when I was younger, but I wasn't really that big of a kid, so I didn't really want to play because I didn't want to get hurt or anything. But then we didn't really have very good numbers, so I decided to try it.
Okay. And this is at Hill City, so It's a small program, and every able-bodied kid better come out for football or we won't have a team type of thing.
Yeah. my junior year, we would actually go to games and suit up 8th graders, so we'd have enough people on the roster so we could go play. And we would be playing with like 10 or 11 kids.
And this is 9-man football.
This is 9-man football.
Yeah. And was that before, now it's Hill City North?
Yeah, now, that was before we combined.
That was a Hill City only team?
Yep.
Back then. You're a junior, so you've had 2 years of high school, 2 years of high school softball already, going into your third?
2 years of college softball.
College softball, yeah,
years of
sorry.
high school softball.
Yeah. And swimming. That was your thing in high school. So talk a little bit about just how you've improved and some of the fun you've had playing college softball, Bailey.
Well, coming into college, I played mostly first or third base my entire high school career, or I pitched a little bit, and I went to college and I got thrown into shortstop, so I had to learn all these new plays. I had to learn them specifically as to how the coach wanted them. I didn't know what to do on half the balls that came to me, and I screwed up a lot my freshman year. And more errors, I think probably triple what I had my senior year of high school. But last year got a lot better. I really settled in more. I knew the position better, and I'm really looking forward to this year because I think it'll just be an improvement from there.
New softball coach this coming season?
Yep.
Okay. And do we know who it is yet?
It's our AD for this year. He's going to be our interim coach. We're going to get a new, and since the softball and golf coach was the same, they're going to hire someone over the summer, I think, for the golf season in the fall, and then we'll have a whole new softball coach next year.
Have you chatted with the soon-to-be softball coach yet and what your role will be?
Yep, I'm a captain, so we've actually had a few meetings with him. It looks like he's going to lead the team in a really positive and motivational way that allows us to be the best players we can while still being in a good environment. And I'm just really excited to see how it all pans out with him.
I'm a Yellow Jacket alum. Your favorite aspects of the UWS campus?
Well, my favorite person, okay, I'm going to be honest, I don't like Superior that much as a whole. But my advisor is one of the reasons I'm still there in the first place, and she is the most phenomenal person I've ever met. So I think her name's Maria Cuso, and I don't know, she's probably my favorite person on the whole campus, to be honest.
Awesome.
So you say Superior's not your favorite town. Do you end up going across the bridge and hanging out in Duluth instead to feel like you're back in Minnesota?
Oh, yeah, I love Duluth. I mean, even just being in Minnesota over Wisconsin is more fun, I feel. No offense to Wisconsin.
No offense to Wisconsin, going to school there. Alex, you're down at University of Minnesota Morris and doing two sports, right? Playing football and track?
Yeah, correct.
And talk a little bit about, you're in the indoor track season right now?
Yeah, we started that back in October, but obviously I was in football season then, so I really couldn't throw then, or my coach wouldn't really be happy with if I did. So football ended probably like the second week in November, so I just took 2 weeks off, and I came back after Thanksgiving and just been throwing and lifting since then, and just going into the break right now, just lifting and doing the practices that coach wants us to do in a gym somewhere. I'll find, so.
So and three throwing. What are you planning when you hit the outdoor season? What throwing events are you in?
The shot put, discus, and the hammer is what I'm planning to do. It's what I did last year. And then for right now for indoor, we do the shot put and the weight throw, which is the weight throw is like the hammer, but it's probably like 2 times as heavy.
So you can't throw it as far, and you can do it indoors. Mm-hmm. So the football coach wouldn't have been impressed if you showed up Friday and said, "Sorry, threw my shoulder out doing shot. I can't play tomorrow."
You probably wouldn't be very happy if I said that.
and talk about the Morris football program and how that went. You are a sophomore, right?
Yeah. It's been kind of an uphill battle because I mean, like, a few years ago they graduated like 30 seniors, so they've been trying to recruit people. And I mean, my freshman year was kind of tough. But this year we're kind of putting things together, and we had a pretty steady record this year. But we played some pretty tough teams. We played Valley City State, and I actually talked to Jake after that game. He was here on the last segment, so that was pretty fun to talk to him and stuff. So.
Is Valley City a pretty good football program?
Yeah,
How'd you do against them?
It was a pretty ugly game, actually. They scored quite a few more touchdowns than we did. But yeah.
Too many to not enough on the points.
Yeah.
And offensive line, is that where you're playing in football?
Yeah, the position where that doesn't get much recognition at all. So.
I'm sorry. I got to do better at that when I call the games. What's the biggest difference? And you wrestled as a heavyweight. You were a big guy in high school, but I'm sure in college they've been pushing you to put on a little more bulk as well. How much weight have you been able to put on so far in college, and are you happy with your playing weight now?
Yeah. I came into college probably like 260, but right now I'm sitting at almost 280 about. So it's been probably like 20 pounds that they've wanted me to put on. So I mean, when you go to college, like in high school, you're around the same age, but when you go to college, like anyone can play as long as they have eligibility. Like I remember one guy, I thought he was a freshman coming in, but he was like 26 and already had kids, and he was playing for the football team. And I was like, oh wow, okay. So, but yeah, I mean that's a huge difference, and you just got to play with people who could be 5 or 7 years older than you.
And with that challenge, the bulking up, is that about the normal playing weight for offensive line in your league?
Yeah, it is. It's around there.
Because you go up to Division I, some other places, and it's like no one under 310 or 320 need apply, and it's like wow. NFL didn't used to be that big, and now Division I is. So Lane, talk a little bit about baseball and where you were at last year for the baseball season and what your plans are.
Well, last year I was going in from Hill City, and it was a big change going from Hill City baseball to ICC baseball, college baseball, but I played Legion and VFW for Grand Rapids, so that kind of really helped me get ready for college compared to just playing ball at Hill City. The level is so much different from Hill City to Grand Rapids. And then it wasn't too big of a jump going from Legion ball to JUCO, but it really did help playing other ball all the time.
And junior college baseball is some pretty decent baseball, isn't it? I mean, there
are some pretty good teams in Minnesota and down south too. Like when we go to Tucson, there are some good teams down there.
So what did you learn? What did you learn in college baseball that you kind of missed in high school? You know, that say, oh, I didn't know this.
Well, in high school, a lot of kids I played against weren't very tall or big or strong or anything. So when I was pitching, I would just have to throw fastballs and no one could touch them. And then it goes to college and you throw a fastball over the middle plate and they'll take it 400 feet deep on you. So I learned that pretty quick. And you gotta learn that you can't just throw hard. You gotta learn how to pitch in college.
And did you play for Marble as well?
Yep, this summer I played for the Mallards.
Some town ball. Now that's a little different as well. I mean, it's older guys, but sometimes the baseball isn't quite as smooth or as sharp. You guys having fun a little more?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun playing for the Mallards this last summer. Because there was guys that I played with in college ball, high school, and all of us just playing together was just a lot of fun. It wasn't super serious, but it was serious enough, and everyone was good, so it was just a lot of fun.
And what are your plans? You're going to play for ICC one more year?
Yep, this year I'm playing for ICC, and the next year I'm going to go to Jamestown and play there.
And moving to a 4-year school, as you talk to Jamestown, what do you see as the improvements you need to make or the next step up?
I need to put on some more weight.
Well, talk to Alex. He seems to be good at that.
And Skelly.
And Jake. Yeah, Jake put on a few. So what's the key to putting on weight and doing it the right way, Alex?
Just a lot of food and work out as best you can. That's all I can say.
Bailey, in college softball, they're not looking for you to put on more weight.
No, I was pretty slow my freshman year, so my coach actually suggested I drop some.
Oh, okay.
Not a good idea to say to girls, but it happened anyways, and I'm doing better now.
And is that's a balancing act sometimes, isn't it? Because all of a sudden, well, if I drop 10, well, maybe I should drop 15, and it can get into a cycle pretty quick.
Yeah, the pounds don't shed very easy for me, so it hasn't really been an issue, but even now I've lost 20 pounds, and I move around so much quicker, and everything's a lot easier.
So, and that was to, try expand your range and so on defensively?
Yep, get my feet a little quicker and be able to get to those balls that, the second base or third base couldn't get to.
Now, and Joe kind of touched on it, you have an interim coach coming up, but the UWS softball program is really, I don't know if turmoil is the right word, but has had a lot of transition since you've been there. How do you deal with that as a student and a player?
We we just keep trucking along. I mean, there's not really a method for it. We all have our own things that we do to, stay focused. And we've had a lot of people quit over the years I've been here. I think it's like 9 or 10 that have left or just don't play anymore because of some of the issues that have been going on. But I mean, I believe in where the program's headed now, so I think that really keeps me on track personally. But I also I love my team and my roommate especially. So we play short and third, so we're kind of left side. But
yeah, so you're kind of a package.
Yeah,
up there.
She helps a lot with that.
And you grew up in a coaching family. Your dad's been a coach for, I don't know, since the beginning of time. Did that help in kind of being able to stay the course and see a bigger picture in all of this?
Yeah, I might be biased, but I always thought my dad really exemplified what a coach should be. I mean, he's tough on his players, as Lane probably knows.
Yeah, he's very tough.
But his players also respect and look up to him like no other coach I've ever seen before. So, I mean, I was like that with our old coach for a long time, and then some issues started happening, and now I think growing up with the family that I did, I'm able to understand and recognize when there is a problem with players or coaches, and I'm able to not initiate change, but support whatever positive change has to happen in that coaching environment.
And what's on the top of your Christmas list this year?
Probably dog food. I bought a dog in September, and since I play softball and I have an internship, I haven't been able to work very much, so yeah.
What kind of dog and what's the name?
His name's Tank. He's at my parents' house right now, actually.
Okay.
Probably not going very well, but he's a pit terrier, and he's only 6 months old.
Oh.
But he's a big boy.
Uh-huh. Alex, top of your Christmas list?
I don't know, just tuition money, rent money.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what I'd say.
Right. We'll work on that. Lane?
The new fish finder from Garmin's called Panoptic. It's like $2,000, but Mom and Dad, if you're listening, you should do that for Christmas.
All right.
Lane, going right for the top there with, although Alex's request might be actually more money, and you need it, right? We need to stay in school.
Yeah, I mean, college comes with a price. So,
yeah, exactly. As we wrap this up, and Bailey talked about her dad, Bill Kinnunen, and you certainly had him as a defensive coach in football and for Legion baseball. Lane, what makes a good coach? What are some of the things that you look at and say, this has been some of the attributes of the good coaches I've had?
Well, when they don't put up with anyone's BS, and they just tell you what you have to do, and you have to do it. Otherwise, you do not belong there.
Communication is your say.
Yeah.
Direct communication.
Direct communication.
Basically, just what he said. They tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And as long as they have good chemistry with their team too, like if they can click with everyone and get to know everyone personally, I think that really makes a good coach as well.
Is there any difference, boys and girls teams? Like they want direct, in your face, this is what you do. Does that work on girls teams too, Bailey, or do you need to be a little more tactful?
Well, girls are a lot more sensitive than guys, emotionally.
Generally.
Yeah, generally. I mean, I grew up watching my dad coach and watching him yell at all his players, but all his players liked him, so I always wanted to play for someone like him, and then I got to college and a coach did coach like him, and I was appalled to see that the girls were like crying after practice and like they couldn't handle it at all, and I was like, no, this is
it.
Should be happening. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like we have to be put in our place sometimes. We have to be told, you're not doing this right. You need to do better.
And the coach needs to be in charge in some way, shape, or form. The coach has to be in charge, not the players.
Yep. But I also think there needs to be a mutual respect between the coach and the players, and that's what we struggled with at Superior lately.
Thanks for coming in. It looks like we've got another segment ready to go with some track and field and some more football. So, but thanks and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
It is the Home for the Holidays sports issue here on KOZY. We'll get you M&N news coming up shortly, and then we'll chat some more sports, a little bit of everything here on the Home for the Holidays sports issue on KOZY.
Northern Pines Orthopedic Clinic has been providing orthopedic services to the region for over 30 years. They are providers for most insurance companies, including the St. Luke's Network. They provide non-operative and operative management of injuries and fractures, repetitive work and sports-related injuries, and chronic conditions such as arthritis. Dr. Baker and Jeff Temple accept walk-in appointments for acute orthopedic injuries Monday through Friday from 8 till 4. Call 326-6677. Northern Pines Orthopedic Clinic, getting you back to the sport of life.
Hi, this is Brian Nicholson. On behalf of the directors and employees of Woodland Bank, I would like to wish everyone a very joyous holiday season. It is a time of year when we can reflect back, but also aspire for a better future. It is a time to appreciate all the blessings we have, but also strive to make them grow. Finally, it is a time to give thanks for family, friends, and good health. Here's to all of that, for all of you. Happy holiday season from Woodland Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If your patio doors stick, squeak, or leak, replace them with Anderson patio doors. Their low E-glass, low-maintenance exteriors, rich wood interiors, and wide range of sizes can turn patio door replacement into serious home improvement.
Stop and see Derek, your Anderson window specialist at Anderson Glass, Grand Rapids.
What do I value the most? Shimmering Christmas lights.
And I value last-minute sales at JCPenney. It's the final days before Christmas. Take $10 off your $25 purchase with coupon in-store and online. Bundle up with up to 60% off select coats, sweaters, and denim for the whole family. And shine brighter with up to 70% off gold and silver jewelry after coupon. Hurry in to finish all of your holiday shopping. JCPenney. Style and value for all. Offers valid 12/20 through 12/24. Exclusions apply. See store at jcp.com for details.
It's cold and flu season again. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
Don't worry. Clorox disinfecting wipes kill 99.9% of germs and help keep the memories going even through the sneezy months. Stock up on Clorox disinfecting wipes today for a clean and healthy home during cold and flu season. Clorox. Clean is the beginning. What comes next is everything. Use as directed on hard, non-porous surfaces.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. The Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign is winding down, and donations so far this year falling short of expectations. Minnesota spokeswoman Bersabe Vera says it's partly because people get so busy this time of year.
But we are coming to the closing days. Those are our last days to really get the community ready to help and focus on others.
Vera says donations are down about $800,000 statewide this year. Donations are still being accepted at Red Kettles everywhere and online. A trooper is out of the hospital after being assaulted on I-90 in southwestern Minnesota by two suspects who led police on a high-speed chase. Trooper Doug Brownhorst, a 22-year veteran in the State Patrol. Two suspects are scheduled to be arraigned on Monday. And the undefeated 13th-ranked Golden Gopher women's basketball team wraps up its non-conference schedule this afternoon against Rhode Island at the Barn. This is MN.
Excuse me. I know you have a 9 o'clock, so I'll keep this short. I'm the business suit in the back of your closet. You wore me nearly every day before your office went, quote, casual. I used to be the CEO of your closet. Now I'm just that one intern no one ever talks to. I always thought you'd circle back with me, get granular, keep me in the pipeline. But nada. Nothing. Don't you remember the McKittrick presentation? You spilled coffee on me, and I still looked amazing during the breakout talkback Q&A. So, I think it's time for me to move on. I've got a great resume and I absolutely crush it in interviews, okay? Let's make this a clean break. Shift the paradigm. The only thing I ask is that you think outside the box here and do this. Take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create new jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Snow likely today, otherwise overcast skies. Daytime highs approaching 27, winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow tonight, lows level off around 18, cloudy skies expected. Chance of snow again tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 22, cloudy skies. 1 to 2 inches of snow today through tomorrow. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 19.
The Home for the Holidays sports issue continues here on KOZY. We've hit 9:30, a little bit past. I'm Jojo Leotti along with Sheldon Willis, and we have our final segment here this morning, at least guest-wise. Sheldon, a quartet of athletes.
A quartet here, and this one, you had no highlights to find.
I'm sorry.
I had no diving highlights, no track and field play-by-play that I did, and again, Dylan, it's kind of like Alex. I never called the offensive line on a play, so
no respect.
No respect at all. Exactly. I thought about doing play-by-play for golf once, and then put that on the shelf. Man, it was like, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not so easy all the time, is it?
No, you need multiple cameras on multiple holes, and then you can do some video stuff. But I can't imagine calling play-by-play. He addresses the ball. He says, "You're a good ball." I don't know what
Yeah, it's a little slow sometimes.
Let's start over here to my right with Bailey. And we let you at the 9:30. Did you choose the 9:30 segment, or did Super Joe say, "Can you come in at 9:30?"
Yeah, Joe said, "Just can you come at 9:30?" I said, "That's perfect." So
okay, so much better than 8:05.
Definitely, I would not be here at 8:05 probably.
See, you nailed it, Joe. Bailey would not have been here earlier. Marley,
I got to go in and swim, and then I got to do my Christmas shopping, and now I'm here. So
now there's a morning person. She has 3/4 of her day done. You don't have 3/4.
I've been up for maybe 20 minutes. My 20-minute drive here. No way.
You just were awake enough to make sure you could stay on the road.
Definitely.
Talk a little bit about what's been happening, where you're at in college, and what's been happening in your college athletic career, Bailey.
I go to St. Cloud State. I'm a junior. I redshirted my last season, my sophomore season, because I got knee surgery. But freshman year was really good. I made it to conference. I placed at conference. This year's going pretty good. I'm just doing rehab for my knee, and I'm a captain now, so I'm like kind of a leader of the team, and it's going pretty well so far. And then I'm planning on running outdoor, but not indoor season. So.
And with the knee surgery, you're a sprinter.
Yes.
So and always have been.
Yes,
I always enjoyed watching you run in high school, Bailey. And I would describe you as a power sprinter. You weren't one of those light, barely touch the ground.
No, like booming steps, like giant strides, like get out and go. Like,
that was what I remember.
Yeah.
And how is the rehab gone? And are you worried that you can't get back to the times you had, or are things going well with that?
It's going okay. The doctor said when I got the surgery that like I wouldn't be running as fast as I was, but like I decided that, like that's all on me if I'm gonna run as fast as I was. But I do know that I'm gonna have to change like my whole blocks around. So I've been doing like my starting blocks the same way since like 6th grade, and I'm gonna have to change them around now because like one leg is stronger than the other. So that's gonna be like a really big issue. But like the fact of like running the same is like totally on me. Like I don't think like. I think I can like fix that more than like the doctor can say.
So the doctor says you're not going to be there, and you say forget that.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're going to blow past that.
Yeah, that's what I say. So.
Have you had to adjust your stride, or is a lot of your rehab trying to get back to the same stride you had before?
It's the same stride, but it's more like how I slow down and like the deceleration, so I'm not like pounding on my legs so much and causing more injury. So I can run like the same speed. It's just like I have to like slow down, like slower, and like do all this other stuff. And I have to do like more like rehab than my team does, and like so I have to stay at the track like half an hour longer than they do just to like do the same workouts, left parts.
Well, you're a captain. You need to set an
Yeah,
example
exactly.
anyways.
Like if I'm gonna be there longer, like it's good that I'm there. So.
And Marley, you are the overachiever here because you were out swimming, shopping. I didn't even know stores were open yet. So
I think everything's open.
everything's
like,
open. It's
couple days before
Christmas. Yeah, it's Christmas. So who were you shopping for?
Just my best friend, and then my housemates and I are doing like a Secret Santa thing. So just getting a gift for her for that.
I want to know how college kids have money to spend on Christmas
Well,
presents.
it's not my money, of course. Which I mean, thanks, Mom. But I mean, yeah, I do work a lot, and all of that goes towards my tuition. So that it's nice that my parents are able to be able to help me with that.
So I had Bailey just kind of fill us in on where, I think sometimes with graduating athletes, people say, oh, I know that, so-and-so's at, playing hockey for a Division I program. I see them on TV sometimes. But some of the other sports people lose track of. Where are you at? And talk a little bit about your college career so far.
Yeah, so I'm a senior at Carleton College in Northfield. I've been swimming every year. Gonna graduate in the spring. Just been training, and our season starts in October and ends in February, so we're kind of right in the middle, which is pretty unfortunate that we and my school has a 6-week long winter break, so it's kind of unfortunate that we have that long where we're not necessarily with our team the whole time. It's like a huge damper on our training, but I mean it really goes to show who's going to be putting it out there during the time when they're not with their team, and putting in the time to make sure that they keep the shape that they've been in.
So you have 6 weeks where you're training on your own, or just trying to at least maintain on your own without team practices
To
or
some
anything going
extent,
on?
Yeah, so what we do, our school ends, because we're on a trimester program, so everything's confusing, but basically I haven't been in school since before Thanksgiving. I've been out of classes. But we have like a little break for Thanksgiving, and then all the swim team comes back to campus for like a week of training, and then they do a training trip every year, which is optional. So some people choose to go and some people don't go. But I was able to go this year, so we spend 10 days in Florida training really intensively down there. It's like 4 hours a day of swimming. And but it's like nice because it's in an outdoor pool, so we're like out in the sun, and it's fun. And we're not in school at that point, so it's not like we have to worry about homework as much. So, yeah.
So it does work out.
Yeah.
Dylan, you want to be on a trimester program? The 6 weeks off sounds pretty decent.
It does sound nice, but it's also nice to just have 2 battles to fight, 2 finals series to battle with, and it's good to get it done. It's good to have 2 littler breaks than 1 big one.
Someone else, you're another person that's rehabbing. If you're watching on the YouTube video, people can see the crutches leaned up on the wall behind you. Talk a little bit about what's happening for you at Concordia Moorhead, right?
Well, I'll just kind of tell the whole story.
Tell it all.
So,
have at it.
I went to throw at Concordia, and I didn't really feel like I fit in as a student at Concordia, so I really wanted to transfer to MSUM. And so I did throw for the winter season, and it was a phenomenal experience getting to throw the hammer and the weight, and it was a good time. But so I transferred to MSUM, and I'm coaching football at Moorhead High School, 9th grade offensive line coach. I'm helping out with the weightlifting team now. We've been having a phenomenal season. We've had, I think our first meet, we had 6 lifters qualify for state already, and we had 1 girl qualify for nationals, so she's going to have an awesome year. And then this past spring, since I'd only threw for the winter season, I had March through May available, so I was the Moorhead Spuds co-head throwing coach for the high school team, and we had a great season with that too. So I did have kind of an urge to keep doing something athletic, so I got into the sport of strongman, and I was doing a little bit of training for that a few weeks ago, and I tore my meniscus. So now I'm waiting for that to heal up.
Come on in. Either seat's cool. We're good. So as athletically, most of what you're doing now is helping coach in high school.
Yes, definitely.
And has that been a rewarding experience? I don't know. You're not that far removed from high school yourself. Do you find it hard to establish authority, or is it better that you can relate?
I think the relation is the biggest piece of it, and just being able to kind of be on the same level as the athletes, and that's kind of my philosophy of coaching, is not to be so authoritative and more like, I've got my job is to make you better, and your job is to have fun and to get better and to work on it.
Work and get better. So Ben Scar, who's just graduated, a newly minted graduate from BSU. What did you major in? And you graduated a little bit early, right?
Yeah, I did. I graduated in just over 3 years with a degree in sport management. Yeah, so now took over as the assistant coach at BSU for men's golf this past semester.
And how has that been going? And again, almost even more so than Dylan, you're coaching kids that are basically the same age or maybe even a little older than you are, depending.
Yeah, there's one student athlete we have that's actually older than me. So that's been interesting, but at the same time, it's a really kind of cool and unique dynamic because I've been teammates with a few of these guys. Like I kind of know just how their minds work, kind of the behind the scenes things. And so for us, it's been a really good, smooth transition because I'm able to relate both to our head coach as well as to the players and be kind of that middle person with them.
Oh, sorry. Biggest challenge shifting from being an athlete to a coach?
Definitely just not playing, like especially in the days where we're out there for when we have 36 holes and we're out there for 10 hours, and it's like I'm sitting there and it's like, wow, I don't get to swing a club today, but at the same time, like it's still just the different dynamic is a lot of fun to watch the guys and help them out, do my part, and so it's still a lot of fun and I enjoy it.
And between being a Greenway alum and a BSU Beaver, is your closet just full of green and white clothing?
Oh, it's incredible. All I have is green.
And Cole Jones, welcome aboard if you want to, yeah. And if you wouldn't mind catching us up, college you're at and sport you're taking part in.
I'm wrestling at Minnesota State University Moorhead, and season's going good. We just got back from Indianapolis at the Midwest Classic, so coming off a big tournament.
And what weight are you at? You look a little more filled out than what I remember you in high school. You always wrestled fairly low weight in high school, right?
Well, I'm still at 125.
Still at 125?
So, yeah.
Wow. Because you look... How do I put this? I always argue with hockey players. It's like, you don't weigh, and they're always trying to pad their weight. I weigh 170. It's like, no, you don't. But
Yeah.
Wrestlers go the other way. It's like, you're wrestling at 125. How hard has it been to keep that weight?
It has its days. Yeah, it's hard to maintain, but it's all part of the game.
And wrestling, that's always been part of the game. There's a lot more regulations on it now. Do you have to maintain a certain BMI and so on to stay eligible? It's not just the weight now, or is that not a thing?
No, it's just maintaining the weight. We do a hydration test at the beginning of the year. That was probably the biggest difference from high school to college. So when you do the weight certifications to see how low you can go, you have to be hydrated for it.
So you can't sweat it out at the beginning of the year. But then all year long you're trying to gain strength but not gain weight. How does that impact what you're doing in the weight room or how you're training during the season?
Our strength coordinator does more of like circuit training instead of lifting. So we're keeping up the endurance and just maintaining muscle. We're not trying to build or bulk up. So lightweight.
So Bailey, you see, it's been so long since we talked to you. Almost
forgot.
Almost forgot. Here, we're still on the radio because I'm sure with track you have the training regimen that you're going through as well. Cole talks about all the circuit training and not trying to build mass. What are some of the differences with your training?
The fact that we are trying to bulk up, we really want to. We do circuit training, and then we do like isometrics and stuff, and then we do like a lot of squats, split squats, goblet squats. But we also like bench and stuff because there's like throwers and everything. So we do like a lot of stuff to bulk up, and then like usually we lift 3 days a week, but now we lift 2 days a week just because we're in season now. So
and is there a difference? The throwers may be looking to bulk up, but the sprinters not as much, or are you trying to add some bulk as well?
Everyone has the same workout every day, honestly. Unless you're injured, everyone does the same workout every day, so no one's really different. So
Okay. And now talk about swimming workouts. Is it more swimming specific and not as much weight training stuff, Marley?
There's a little bit of both. It depends on your specialty. So sprinters, they spend 3 days a week doing mornings in the weight room because they want to be a bit more, bulky for the, strength of being able to just power through a quick event. They don't need the endurance as much. More distance swimmers, you're going to see more time in the pool, doing longer sets and getting the endurance in. So.
And what are you swimming actually?
I'm in mid distance actually, so I'm right in the middle. So I usually do 2 days a week in the weight room and then one morning doing extra workouts for swimming. But I train with the distance swimmers whenever we split up into specialty, just because I think it helps mentally being able to say like, yeah, okay, we swam like a couple miles this morning and it was only for like an hour and a half, and I think that really has helped me mentally, being able to be like, that's what I've trained, so it's really easy then to swim like a 200-yard freestyle and be like, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
Yeah. Mentally, it's so much nicer to be like, all right, this is quick. Like, this is over in 2 minutes. Like, I'll be fine.
Now, Dylan, you said you had just started training for strongman competition, and you had played football, done track throwing. What was the difference in your workouts as you started to go to the strongman stuff?
It's not really a lot different because towards the kind of going into my senior year when I was rehabbing my ACL surgery, I kind of started to pick up some strongman stuff, and I still like doing some of the Olympic weightlifting stuff from high school, but I guess the biggest difference overall is just hitting the events, the strongman events more, and then trying to get my deadlift strength up more. I think those are the two biggest differences.
What's the toughest strongman event?
Boy, I don't know. For me, it's probably Atlas stones. It's, for those who don't know, it's just a big round boulder basically, and you have to try and pick it up and set it up on something that's usually around 50 inches high. And I recently just started getting the handle on a 215-pound stone, and I would say that challenged me probably about as much as trying to clean about 95% of my clean max, which is around 285. So I mean, the stone makes it a lot more challenging than just normal barbell.
And I've watched a few strongman competitions over the years, and the events just look bizarre to me, but they really do challenge what you can do strength-wise.
Oh, absolutely, because there's just so many different facets of strength that you're able to hit with those events.
And some of them tax your endurance with strength as well, whether it's a pull or...
Yeah, like doing a truck pull or doing even like yoke runs. If they're a longer distance, they can wear on you a little bit.
So, Ben, we're talking about all this strength training and what you can bench. That's not quite as big a deal in golf, although I see some golfers on the PGA Tour that are pretty ripped. There has to be some strength training involved there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's starting to finally get more publicity. Like, in the past, it was always like strength training is bad for golf, and now we're starting to find the other end of the spectrum. But yeah, it's not always necessarily, I guess, what you can see like with a football player or not. Your bench, things like that. It's more, whether you're doing deadlifts or core exercises, or just a lot of like lightweight, like very rapid movements. I'm trying to train your quick twitch muscles. Yeah, just trying to really become efficient in how quickly you transfer energy from one side of your body to another. So you don't necessarily see the results as you would in other sports, but I mean, golfers are definitely athletes too,
Do you have to argue with people about that golfers are athletes?
Once in a while. I go round and round just for fun with a few of my buddies, but it's golf's starting to make a lot of progress, and so it's been encouraging to see.
So we could take a poll: are golfers athletes?
Oh, I would say so.
Absolutely.
Cole, you're gonna vote. You seem a little more non-committal.
I'm neutral.
You're neutral on this?
No, they're athletes.
But and I guess it does point to the big difference in athletic achievement, because you're not going to cross over into the strongman competition, Ben.
No, not at all.
But and Cole, you're probably not going to cross over into the strongman either, because just it takes so much more bulk there, right?
No, yeah, I'm not.
But talk a little bit about your season personally. You said some of the meets that have happened recently. How's the season going, and what year are you in again?
Sophomore.
You're a sophomore this year, so your second year. Has it seemed more, I don't know, if natural or more comfortable here your sophomore year as opposed to just breaking in as a freshman?
Yeah, I definitely got into the swing of things pretty quick. I feel like I adjusted pretty easily to college. It's a lot more intense than high school, but I was kind of used to that, the way I train and the way I am, I guess. But 17-4 on the season, and that's a big jump from last year. I ended 20-13.
And what are some of the things that you look at and say, these are the things I can still improve on during my college career, as a wrestler especially?
Just keep wrestling. I mean, the biggest thing in wrestling is, everybody is talented in college wrestling, and usually the guy that keeps wrestling, keeps moving, fights for every point is going to end up on top.
Are you happy with the level of wrestling that you chose as far as college? Because certainly there's, ICC has a wrestling team in junior college, or, there's Division I programs. Are you happy with where you're slotted in? Does it seem right for you?
Yeah. I'm really happy with my decision to go to Moorhead, and I feel like it's where I'm supposed to be at.
And college classes and major, what are you at there?
I'm majoring in construction management. That's going pretty well. Haven't taken too many courses in my major, but usually that's junior, senior year.
Yeah. So mostly getting your generals out of the way. Tell us a little bit more about school. We've talked about athletics. Have I asked you about school already?
No.
No. See, it's starting to go to mush now with my brain.
Yeah, I'm a junior, and I am majoring in health and physical education with a minor in special education and human relations. So I'm just planning on being like a gym teacher with a sped minor, and then probably steal Ann Campbell's job in a couple years. So.
Oh, there you go. And Ann's always. I got to get my phone out because Ann will text me. Ann don't text him. She's usually listening. She's usually listening. She's one of our faithful listeners. But Ann, in a few years maybe ready to retire. And,
maybe. I don't know if I'm going to come back to Rapids, but that's the plan. I want to be an athletic director.
And I told Emily Erickson that a math teacher, hockey coach gets you a job in northern Minnesota, and it sounds like your major can get you a job wherever you want to go.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And Marley, talk a little bit about school-wise.
So I'm a senior, and I'm a Russian studies major, actually. So I have a couple options of things I could do with that, but right now I'm looking more actually into coaching for swimming at the collegiate level for Division III. So that's kind of what my focus has been, but I pretty much would be able to get a job pretty easily translating for the government, so I'm not super concerned about that right now.
Well, there's a lot of comments we could make about Russian stuff, right?
But, we can just move on.
we can move on from there. So, as part of your major, are you fluent now in Russian, and did you learn all that in school? Did you take some trips to Russia and kind of immerse, or?
It's almost impossible to become fluent in a language in a few years, so that's definitely not where I'm at. On my resume, it says I'm at a conversational level. I studied abroad there last spring, and that was really great for being able to talk to native speakers and be immersed in it. And all of our professors were people from Moscow who didn't know English, so being able to be in a class where you have to speak in Russian and you don't have the option of being like, can you clarify in English, like what's going on? It wasn't an option. So,
so can you wish us a Merry Christmas in Russian?
Probably. Счастливое Рождество is what you'd say. It's happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Yeah. Very, very good. And none of us will argue because none of us
know
Russian.
You could have said anything. Anything. Right? Like, a happy Christmas to you, but I was like, it's probably fine. No one's going to care. All the Russian speakers in Minnesota that are going to hear it and be like, oh man, she pronounced this bad.
We do have it on an archive. We can send it to
someone.
Excellent.
Awesome. My Russian, I hope none of my professors are listening. Although it's not wrong, and they know what my level is.
There
I'm not ashamed.
And you talked about all the coaching you're doing now. How have you balanced that with classes, and where you at in your college class schedule?
I think it's the same thing as balancing athletics with college classes. And major-wise, technically I'm kind of a junior. It's complicated, but I'm working through it. I'm a Phy Ed and adaptive PE major, so I'll get my DAPE certification. So I hope to be able to do a little Phy Ed, a little bit of DAPE, and a lot of bit of coaching, I guess.
And so coaching is kind of where your focus is.
Yeah, I would say so, but at the end of the day, when you're working with kids, whether they're your athletes or they're your students, it's kind of the same thing. You want them to get better. You want them to become more physically fit and be active. So that's the end goal, I think, with either your students or your athletes.
So you're finally not having to do classes, Ben. How does that feel?
There's definitely some pros and cons to it. I don't miss the homework and bringing that home and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm finding out that I do miss a little bit sometimes of like the freedom that you have. You may only have 1 or 2 classes on a day, and it's like, oh, I'm done. Like, what do I do the rest of the day now? Versus like now it's like, okay, I'm in for the work. Now I'm gonna go on coach right after, and so it's a transition. But there's good and bads, and just taking one day at a time, loving where I'm at.
So where you work, you're working besides coaching.
Just with the coaching.
Okay.
So yeah, just when we're in the office, it's like different paperwork, filing to get things through, whether it's eligibility, travel, things like that. So just constantly working. It is nice that I don't necessarily have to be in the office every day because I'll be out with the course. I can get something done from home, so that's been nice flexibility in that aspect. But yeah, just consistently going.
So what are the career goals, and do you think you might go back for a postgraduate degree, or what are your long-term plans?
Yeah, right now I'm just keeping that open. I've considered going back for a post-grad degree someday, but we'll just see what happens in the future. I'm just kind of open to wherever I go, so we'll see. Just enjoying where I'm at right now.
Well, enjoying where you're at is always good. So, are you all doing that? All just enjoying where it's at right now?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I've been hearing. Well, thank you for being our final guest segment. This has been so much fun the last 2 hours. We've had guests just right on through and catching up with a lot of you. Good luck and Happy Christmas. I can't say it in Russian, but thank you all for coming in. Cole Jones, Ben Scar, Dylan Surface. Get the right Dylan, and Marley Schramm, Bailey Brazerow.
Thanks, everybody, for coming in, and that will put a bow on our Home for the Holidays episode here. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We sure did, and we'll probably do it again next Christmas time. And we will for sure do our show again next Saturday morning from 8 to 10. And, of course, big thanks to all of our sponsors here today. They are Northern Pines Orthopedic Clinic, Woodland Bank, Donlinger Ford, Anderson Glass, and Super One Foods. For Sheldon Willis, I'm Joe Gigliotti. This has been The Sports Issue. Merry Christmas, KOZY.
1320 KOZY Grand Rapids, serving Grand Rapids and surrounding areas since 1948.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In the next hour, lawmakers will reconvene on Capitol Hill, but no one knows if Senate leaders will be able to strike a deal with Democrats to get enough votes to end the partial government shutdown. That deadline came and went at midnight, hinging on the president's border wall funding. ABC's Tara Palmieri is at the White House and tells us how we got here.
On Thursday night, House Republicans approved a spending deal through February 8th, allotting $5.7 billion for the wall. But on Friday, the Senate barely reached 48 votes needed to bring the bills to the floor to vote. Friday, the president putting the blame on the Democrats. Vice President Mike Pence, the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner, and incoming White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney shuttling around Senate offices